All right, Kim Baker here with the Faith Family and Forgiveness Ministry coming to you on this Thursday night. Tonight will be the very first week of a new study and new class of building better boundaries. Okay? Before we get into tonight's material, just a couple quick announcements. Down at the bottom of your screen where it's scrolling where it says bscministry.com. That is our website. Okay. And then up in the top left hand corner where the QR code is, okay, it does say donate. And yes, you can donate to the ministry. If you scan that QR code, it will actually take you to our website, bscministry.com. Okay. But there, you can download this material, print it off, save it, whatever you want to do with it. Okay. Along with us and have this material in hand. Okay. We're going to go approximately 30 minutes. Okay. It's what the majority of the people that answered the poll wanted to do. Okay. We will not go just 30 minutes most of the time. Okay. It may be a little bit less. Okay. It will depend on where we at in the material. Okay. So let's get started with this class. Okay. Introduction to boundaries. Okay. What are boundaries? Personal guidelines that helps us to navigate our interactions, our relationships, and our decisions in our life to hopefully empowering manner or life. Right? Because what we have to understand is we have boundaries. Okay. And probably if I ask uh, one, when you hear the word boundaries, does does it come to your mind that it's something that is negative or something that can be positive? Okay. Because I believe that most people would probably, man, excuse me, I'm really sorry about that. I believe most people would answer negative. Okay, that when you hear the word boundary, they automatically think of something as negative. It's something that's negative. Okay, but it's really not. Okay, uh, it's really something can be very positive in our life. Okay, I do have my chat up and running. Okay, if you would like to leave a comment or ask a question, I will check it as often as I can and respond appropriately. Okay. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, all right. Boundaries serve individual. We create a framework that allows us to say yes to the things that align with our values, but also gives gives us the ability to say no or be, or it could be a person that doesn't serve our best well-being. Okay, so that is actually that's a good thing. Okay, all right. So here's a few key points to remember, okay, and to ponder. First is that, again, I really apologize. Uh, okay, so boundaries are for our protection and our ownership. Help us to establish that sense of ownership over our lives. Okay. If I set a boundary, then I'm saying that, I want you to stay on this side of the boundary. I don't want you crossing it. Okay. If that gives you ownership of that situation, you're in control of that situation. Okay. All right. Next, they are like a, well, I'm not going to say, I should have rephrased this because they're not like, if boundaries are implemented the right way, and again, I'm really sorry about that. But if boundaries are implemented the right way, okay, then they are a personal boundary. Because what I'm saying is, or barrier, is that, okay, here's the line. I'm drawing a line in the sand, and I don't want you to cross it. Okay? And we'll get into the real basics of boundaries later on. Okay, but let's see, just like what it says right here in the slide, that boundaries, we implement or we set boundaries in our life to safeguard us from harmful influences, emotional exhaustion. Have you ever been emotionally exhausted? Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna put up two hands. Okay. Yeah, I've been there. Most of us have. Okay, or from undue stress. All right. So, empowerment and choice. When we set clear boundaries, we exercise our power to make choices that resonate with us. Okay? We, I, you get to have the power, okay, over our own lives. And a lot of, really sorry. But a lot of us haven't had that power in our life because we've been had under mentally exhausted. All right, looks like I lost connection there for a minute. It's back. Oh, okay. In activities, relationships, and endeavors that align with, again, with our values, our aspirations, leading to a more fulfilling life. Isn't that what we all really want? Is to have a more fulfilling life, to be able to engage in certain activities or engage in or endeavors that help us to achieve a more fulfilling life. Absolutely. Okay. Now, everything that I say, that I say may not actually be on a slide. The majority of it will be in the study material. So be sure and go to the website or click on or scan the QR code to be able to go get that. Okay. I really apologize that it's cutting in and out. Looks like I'm having a little internet issues tonight. Hopefully, we can get through this tonight. Okay. All right. Next is authentic expression. Okay. Boundaries help us to be able to express ourselves and to be authentic. You know, so why wouldn't we want to be able to set boundaries? If setting boundaries helps us to be real, that's what we're talking about, being authentic, being real, why wouldn't that be a good thing? Why would somebody think that that would be negative? Okay. But we can be authentic without the fear of overstepping our own limits or tolerating situations that don't feel right. Have you ever been put in a where it didn't have put in that situation? Clarity and communication. Okay? So boundaries will help with these two issues. Okay? Boundaries provide clarity to us and to those around us. Okay? When we set a boundary, okay, and if we communicate that to others, what we're doing, we're telling them, say, okay, listen, this is my boundary. Okay? Honor, respect my boundary. Okay? You don't have to agree with it. Just like you don't have to agree, you don't have to agree 100% with somebody else's boundaries. Okay? But you ought to respect them. Okay? And as you're learning this is one thing that I want you to think about. Okay? As you're learning and growing in this area also be aware of other. Okay. Now, if you have a question on why that somebody sets a certain boundary, what can you do about it? What about asking a question? Say, hey, why? Why did you set this boundary? Okay. So make sure, make sure that you are communicating your boundaries. Okay. Because we have unwritten or unspoken boundaries in our life. Okay. How many of you out there are married? Just listening. Okay. Probably odds. Most everybody that's listening probably is married or has been married at one time, one or the other. Are there boundaries in marriage? Yeah. Yes. Have they been spoken? Probably not. Some may have. Okay. But there are boundaries in marriage that, okay, we're not to go outside of the covenant of marriage with someone else. Okay. Um, that should just be something. That should be something that we all understand. Okay. So there's boundaries that are not spoken or communicated, but they're still there and they should be obeyed. Okay. But when we communicate our expectations and our limits, what we're doing, we are creating a healthier relationship. We are empowering that relationship because that person knows where you're at, what you will accept, and what you will not accept. Because that this right here is one of the biggest issues in this world today is communication. Did you know that there are studies that's been done, and when we get into a communication scenario, okay, so I start talking, we listen for 3 seconds on the average. 3 seconds. You, as I'm talking, you are processing in your mind your response. Okay. So what are you responding to? You're responding to the first few words. Okay. So we don't listen. Okay. We're real good at speaking. Most of us are real good at speaking. We don't mind telling you what we think, but are we willing to listen to what the other person thinks? Oh, cutting out. There we go. Maybe it's back. Okay, moving on. Oh, balanced life. Would you like to have a balanced life? Yeah, most of us would, wouldn't we? By saying yes to what truly resonates with us and no to what drains our energy or detracts from our well being. Okay? When we're able to truly say yes and truly say no, we are cultivating cultivating summary boundaries are not restrictive barriers. Lead a more meaningful and empowered life. Oh, I'm really hoping y'all are getting something out of this. Uh, by setting boundaries, they are a roadmap for complexities of human interactions and while staying true to our authentic self. Here we go again. There's that word, being authentic, being true. Aren't you about ready to be true to yourself? All right. How our boundaries were formed. Okay. All right. We talked about we've got boundaries. You have boundaries. Okay. Probably haven't been communicated, but where did they come from? How did you get these boundaries? Well, it is what you have been through, what you have experienced in life. That's where your boundaries are coming from. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the key. Here's the thing about it. How will I how do I know okay? Am I supposed to? Whew. This internet dropping in and out is, it may not be getting frustrating to y'all, but it is to me. And I really apologize for that. And I'll have to get me another extender to try to boost my signal. Okay. But so let's look at how boundaries are formed. Okay. All right. We're going to go through this. So we're not going to make 30 minutes. So how your boundaries are formed. Okay. We're going to do an exercise. This is where you're going to need a journal or a notebook. Okay. This exercise is aimed at helping you to understand your values and your priorities, which in turn will guide you in setting healthy boundaries and making meaningful decisions. Okay. Now, if you've not gone to the website and download this material, it really would be so later on. Okay. So, to get started with this exercise, you would follow these steps. Okay. See that guy? Look at him running. Okay. So, imagine a. I'm going to make a decision here. Um, we're going to cut this off right here tonight. We're going to stop right here with this exercise. Well, I'm going to try to get to it. I'm going to try to get to it. But man, this is getting frustrating. This internet kicking in and out. All right. But anyway, close your eyes. Visualize you're attending an event 10 to 20 years in the future that is honoring or rating your accomplishments. Okay. Now I know what some of us are probably thinking what event this might be. Okay. All right. It could be. But anyway, there's going to be 4 speakers at this event. They're going to be sharing their thoughts and their perspectives about your life journey. Okay? But in each speaker will represent a different sphere of your life or different area of your life. Okay? So the first one's going to be a family member. Okay? So think of a family member that would give a talk about you and your life. Okay? They will, we want to think of somebody that could talk about your role within the family, your relationships in your family, and with family members, and the impact that you had on their lives. Okay? Number 2, okay, this will be a close friend who can provide insights into your personality character, what kind of friend have you been over the years? Okay. They will reveal your qualities and your values. That's speaker number two. This will be from your work or your professional life. Maybe a colleague, a supervisor, or just somebody you work with. Okay? They will discuss your achievements or contributions and your work ethic that you had in your work environment. Okay? So that's the third person you're going to think about. The fourth one is going to be somebody from the community or church, religious organization. Okay? So the fourth speaker will talk about your involvement in community organizations or religious affiliation. They're going to talk about your contributions that you've made to the community, your service, and what impact that you had on people. Okay? So after you think about each speaker, okay, so what you want to do is get you in your journal or whatever. Speaker one, your family, write down family, and then write down who the name of the person that's going to be speaking. Okay. Then number two, a friend, put their name down. Or your organization or religious affiliation and write down that person's name. Okay. Person. Okay. What you think that this about you. Okay. Then you're going to have a time of reflection where you reflect back. Okay? Take a moment to reflect. Is there a common or qualities that emerge? Okay? About you. What would you want them to say about you? What legacy do you want to leave in these different areas of your life? Developing your vision. Okay? Based on the insights that you gain from this exercise, start developing a life vision, goals, and your aspirations of these areas. Okay? Boundaries will naturally help you to set boundaries. Okay? When you know what, it becomes easier to say yes to the thing that aligns with your vision and no to the things that don't. And understand. Let's just take your family. If you really take time, your values, things that you would want your family to remember you about, it will help you to later on to be able to set good boundaries. Right? Create a meaningful life. Right? So take time to write down your response for the different speakers. And if you choose, discuss your thoughts with the group. Okay? Now, we don't have communication back and forth, but what about going into the event discussion area and maybe write down some things that you've learned this week? Okay? That could be one way to communicate it. All right. So next week we'll start on what is called your personal mission statement. Okay. Uh, all organizations, churches, and so forth have a mission statement. What they're about, what they believe, how you should act. Okay. So, but this will be your personal mission statement. Okay. Again, we'll go over the basics of it, but you're going to be doing this after class. Okay. So if you decided to show up tonight, guess what? You're back in school. You got homework to do. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to be negative here, but I want to tell you what you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. Okay. Plain and simple. Okay. Real quick, bscmystery.com is our website. You can scan that QR code. It will take you to our website. Okay. You can download the study material for this. Okay. So you'll have it. This video will stay on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this at. Okay. So if you missed part of it and you want to listen to it, I know I got the volume's cutting in and out, and I apologize for that. I will try to get it fixed this week. But you can always go back and listen or go back and read the slides. Okay. Thank you for being here. Um, okay. When you go, I'm not going to say if you go, but when you go to our website, okay, if if you feel led to donate this ministry to help us to be able to reach as many people as possible and to continue this ministry, all I ask if you would just pray about it and see if God would lead you uh, to make a donation. Okay, there is a place there to donate to the ministry. Okay, But most importantly, go download the study material. Okay? God bless. Have the rest of the week. And I pray I'll have this internet straightened out next week. Okay? Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for the people that joined in tonight. If you have any questions, reach out through the Facebook page that you're on. Okay? And I will get back to you just as soon as I can, answer any questions, take any comments that you might have. Okay? Again, God bless and have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next Thursday night for week number